Okay guys, we're back today. Any questions about the stuff that we went over last Wednesday? As we're covering a lot of stuff now. What we covered last week is pretty important stuff. It was numbers. You all remember?
That was last week? Yeah, I didn't watch the video.
So those of y'all that did watch the video over here, lots of material there, lots. Any questions about the stuff that we went over? We didn't finish it. It's kind of a big lesson. It's probably one that I should have waited and kept it on a night where we could just do it the whole 2 hours or whatever, but it is what it is. So, do y'all have any questions about what we went over so far on numbers? Or anything that we've gone over so far?
Well, I do have a question. I probably should have watched the video last week. But, so when I'm trying to edit my transcript, for whatever reason, I cannot put my numbers in there. So I guess you can tell me how I can do that.
What do you mean you can't put your numbers in there?
Whenever I push a number key,
It'll pop up something else.
or take me to the top of the transcript or somewhere else. It does not incorporate the number.
Because you're in hyperkeys, probably.
No,
That's how I solved that problem. I went into hyperkeys.
Oh, I'm not the only one.
No, you know how I do it now is when that happens, I go into hyperkeys and then do N for text, and then it lets you do the numbers.
If you're in here,
Okay, I didn't
for example,
yeah, try it.
are you working with hyperkeys at all?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, make sure that you're here. If you're here, you can type anything. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're not, you can't. So now it's doing it by commands. So even numbers are commands now. So you should have this global magic box that's open. If the global magic box is open, more than likely it's going to do a command. Okay?
Right.
Let me see if I can get...
Or you're talking about like in hyperkeys, right? Because like even if I'm not in hyperkeys, it'll still do that.
If the global magic thing is here, it's still gonna do it. So look into your global magic, and there's a little, it almost looks like a little sun. And it says insert text. Punch that number. Then it should work. You in the front. No, go ahead.
Before I took this class, I learned like whenever I press Control N, it would allow me to type in a number. Is that the same thing as what you're talking about?
Control N?
Yeah, I thought it was just like what you had to do. But
No, it shouldn't be.
When you're in hyperkeys, you don't need to press the control.
When you're in the small prompt like that, it should just be able to type. Every now and then it'll do some quirky stuff. So if you're in and out of hyperkeys, sometimes it'll ask you right here, do you want to insert text? Or it thinks that you want to do something else. So if you can bring up your transcript, I'll show you.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can do
All right.
that.
You know, but, I mean, guys, pay attention to this prompt. Pay attention to that. Because if you're not in the small prompt, you're in hyperkeys, and now it's doing a function. It's not doing numbers anymore. It's not doing letters anymore. It's doing functions. Okay? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that if you're in and out of hyperkeys, sometimes it may not know whether you want to do something else. So if it has the global magic little thing over here, look in there because it's probably going to have insert text. And then it kind of has N over to the side. But just push the number for insert text.
Because I went in and I said, forget, I'm just going to type the word out. Because I couldn't get the numbers to go in. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I just typed the number, like, forget it. I had to type the date. I couldn't get See, right here? Because it said on that, about the 3rd day of May 2012, I had to just type the numbers in there because I couldn't, you know, I had to do the long way.
See how it has that little thing?
Mhm.
Type text.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do something. See how it did it?
Mhm.
5 was putting it in there. So it still kind of thinks that you're in hyperkeys.
But it's not up there, right? No,
It's not. And now that you do it, you push 6, 3, now it'll do it. See what I'm talking about?
Okay, do that again. So, okay, well, I don't
I
have.
may not do it
Okay.
now. It's not giving me that option now.
Oh, it's like convert. Okay, so you're in hyperkeys, okay?
One, you don't even need to do it, because what did you want to do? 3RD?
Mm-hmm.
All you do is 2.
I
Push
know.
number 2. That's it.
That now, but that wasn't giving me the option before.
Why not?
Oh, I don't know why it wasn't that. Yeah.
You should have. I bet you it was. And see how it's doing 2012 and it already knows? All you have to do, you don't have to get into anything. You push 3, it already does it. See?
That's in our little global magic box over here, guys.
Yeah. So it looks. What?
No, I'm telling this is in our global magic box over here.
Yeah. So it looks like it's a red circle. It's a red circle with a line through it, and what does it have? What's in the middle of that? In that typed text?
It looked like an exclamation mark. That's what it looked like. I can't see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something. It's a red circle with a line through it and something in it, and it says type text. If that's in there, it's not going to allow you just to push numbers. Now the numbers are still a command, okay?
So how do we get that out? Control keys, right?
You push the number for the insert text.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Yeah. And then it'll allow you to type whatever.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, sometimes you're in and out of hyperkeys, and sometimes it'll do that. Okay?
All right.
What's the oops key?
Z.
Z. But you have to be in hyperkeys. So you do the Alt Z, then Z, Z, however, till you get back to where you were. So don't freak out when something crazy happens because you pushed a number and it took you to the bottom of the text or the top of the text, or it typed in a different number or whatever. Okay? Got it?
Got it.
Oops should usually always fix it. That's one you need to write down, like on a single page, and just put that big Z on one page where you're taking your notes. That should cover one page. Okay? Oops is going to be your friend. Probably your best friend. Okay? Because you're going to mess up a lot when you're getting to know the software. Okay?
All right.
Any other questions? No? All right. Okay, we covered all of this stuff about what you do for dollars, cents, months, days, all of that stuff. Y'all remember that? And how do you do it if it's 5, the number 5, and then deal ARS? What do you define? Michelle, what do you define? And if you say do it right, you're gonna get hit with this stick.
Okay, so what was, if it's 5, what?
If I do the number 5, dollars, DLARS, how do you define it?
You go global?
What do I define?
The number conversion? Oh, is it 10S? No. One stroke. Oh, you're defining the
If I do
DLAR?
the number 5, I'm using the number bar. Number bar 5, so it's the number 5, not written out. Number 5, next stroke, dollars, DLARS.
So you have to define dollars to the dollar sign?
No. Anyone?
I think you don't, you just global dollars by itself and you leave the number alone, right?
Leave the number alone.
I said go to global.
I don't know. I don't know. Am I hearing it wrong? Did I hear it wrong? I don't think so. But all you define is dollars. All you define is dollars. The numbers stand by themselves, so you don't have to global a number, you don't have to define a number unless it's written out. And it's not in your dictionary. And it should be in your dictionary. 2012 should be in your dictionary.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, whatever, or yeah, I know.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It should be in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, numbers like that should be in there, okay? Numbers stand by themselves. Listen, look at me. Numbers stand by themselves unless they're with another stroke. So remember when we were doing the 5D, 5S?
I said 10S. And then,
Hey lady, I'm doing 5. Stay with me.
and then, so then you would define the letter as cents, like the S.
So then you have to define it as the 10, open bracket, close bracket, then cents, I believe. Let me look up here. I'm glad I decided to go back over this and not just take y'all's word for it that y'all got it. Let me see. Yes. So when you're doing it in one stroke, 10S, remember I told you that's how I do it, 5D for $5, 5S for 5 cents. You have to define the number now because it's in the stroke. When you do the stroke and the number by itself, you don't have to define the number because it already knows the number, okay? It's only when it's with together, okay? So the hyphen means that it's together. This little slash means that it's a separate stroke. Y'all got that?
Got it.
So when you're going through the lesson, that's what it means, okay? Don't take this as, oh, well, it's 10, come back S. Now, if you do 10, come back S, then you have to define it as cents after a number, okay?
Well, 10 come back S with the second stroke, you just type in cents like the first one, right?
Yeah. So it'll know that if it precedes a number, then all it needs to, it's gonna be in cents. But if not, S means plural.
Okay. Right.
Got it? Got it? So be careful with that if you're using that for cents, okay? And let me know if it doesn't work, because I don't know how it works, okay? Preceding a number, we may have to do something else with it to tell it that it needs to hook on to the number. Got it? Is anybody gonna try to do that?
Sounds good.
Just to mess with me
We're gonna try to do
and do it?
the dollar sign.
Hmm?
Because that seems easier instead of trying to come back and stroke DLARS instead of just doing 5D or 10D or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the way I hear it. So if you don't hear it that way,
I mean, nobody's going to say $10.
no.
It's always going to be whatever the number.
$10.
Exactly.
But you may hear it as 10 and then dollars. I don't. I hear it $10.
Right.
But if you hear it $10, then that's okay. You just do DLARS. But I don't. I'm, and people hear things differently. That's why I'm saying people stroke things differently because they hear things differently. Well, I hear $10. I hear $10.
Right.
I hear it like it's together.
Right.
So I do the 10D. I'm able to do the 10D. But if you're right on top of it and you do 10, then it's like, oh, and now you're trying to think of asterisk, I got to erase that, and then 10D, and then they're still going. You know, so just write what they say. So the same thing with this. If you do the THOUDZ, $1,000, same thing, $1,000, that's it. You don't have to do the caret apostrophe $000. That's how we used to do it. Holy cow, okay? It's so much easier now with this software. You know, it's thinking ahead, okay? Same thing with the point. Remember we were talking about that? Point and point. Well, you hear point. Well, it was 7.3 milligrams. You hear point. But you have to be able to differentiate point because you want the point. You don't want P-O-I-N-T.
Right.
Got it? So you have to stroke those differently. Even if you hear point, do it with the asterisk. Okay? Learn to write conflict free. Got it? So you always want to differentiate that because you don't want to create a conflict here with that, with point and point. I mean point and point, where it's a decimal point and then P-O-I-N-T. No. Okay? Learn to just stroke it differently with the point, and it's going to be like this. Bracket, decimal, bracket. If you don't do it that way and you just do the point, don't think that it's like the dollars and the cents where you just write the point, the dollars and cents, and you just write the point, because that's not it.
Because it won't put it together.
It's not going to put it together. All it's going to do is define it as point now, because you put it in there as P-O-I-N-T. It knows it as decimal. Okay? Got it? Same thing with the AM. We talked about that last week too, the AM. Remember? How you hopefully going to do it AM and M different.
My AM, I think I use with the asterisk.
Very good. I do too. So if you don't, figure something out. Figure something out to where, you can create the conflict. It's so much easier just not to. It's so much easier just to add the asterisk. But if you don't hear it that way and you just put it as M, then you need to create a conflict. Because now it's going to come out 9:30 AM. Not A period, M period. Got it? Same thing with PM's a little different because it doesn't really conflict with anything. So you just define it as PM. Okay? The K7, or the Ks, with the number for o'clock. What time was it? It was 4 o'clock, 4K. I do it that way. I hear it that way. Some people don't. I used to do it KLOK with the asterisk. That meant the o'clock. Because if you do the KLOK, now it's just clock. Well, how did he tell time? Well, he had a clock. You saw the clock. Now you're just doing clock, and it's not knowing to put it on as the o'clock. Okay? Guys, if you do it this way, help yourself. I talked about this last week too, where I'm using a number with a word, I always use the word with time. So it's S-E-V-E-N, o'clock, 7 o'clock. Don't ever do, and I was taught this in grade school, not even court reporting school, but don't do the 7:00 o'clock. Because 7:00 already means 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So now you're writing 7 o'clock, o'clock. Okay? Were y'all taught that? No? Were you, were you homeschooled or?
Like the difference is,
What's that?
like the difference between like the two. Yeah. I thought you were talking about something else.
I wouldn't do it this way.
Yeah, no, I was taught that. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you feel comfortable doing it with the 7, just a 7 number, help yourself.
So if they say 7 o'clock, can you just pick which one? Or do you, like, could I, if they say 7 o'clock, could I do 7:00 or 7 o'clock, like, you know?
Yes,
Does that make sense?
yes.
Sorry.
No.
Okay.
She was saying because she picked either one of the two. She don't have
No.
to,
If they say 7 o'clock, you do 7 o'clock.
like the first
If they
one?
say, well, what time did you leave? We left at 7. We left at 7. You didn't leave it at number 7, okay? They don't know that that's time. The reader doesn't know that that's time. What time did you leave? 7. You just left at the number 7?
I mean, it makes
No.
sense.
So, but, I mean,
It's time. They're
Still.
talking about time.
either way, I mean, if he said 7, I can't put 7 dot, I mean, colon 00.
You're supposed to.
That's what I'm saying. So she's saying,
You have to, because it's time.
right, but she's saying, can we pick the format that we use?
Not if he says, what time did you leave? 7 o'clock. He said o'clock. Even though this means 7 o'clock, that just means 7.
Oh,
When they
wow.
say 7,
Okay,
okay? It doesn't really mean o'clock. O'clock is when they say o'clock,
okay.
okay? Does that make sense?
It does now, but, I mean, I don't see that's the problem, but I understand what you're saying.
I mean, you do it how you want. But when somebody comes back and says, hey, your student put, no, I didn't tell her that. And I'm gonna show them this little video.
I think what you said is we write it verbatim, so
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you're writing what they're saying.
Right, okay.
So when they're talking about time, you never just put 8. It's 8:00 to signify time. Okay?
How do you know when to put dollars versus a dollar sign? I mean, I guess it's not really this class, but I'm just confused.
If they say $7, it's the dollar sign. It's always the dollar sign.
You never would write out dollars.
Well, I mean, if they say dollars, well, what did he pay him in? He paid him in dollars.
Okay.
That's when you would write dollars. But I mean, you would never write dollars as, how much was it? It was $400. It's the money sign 400 always. So the only time you're going to use it is when it stands alone.
The word dollars.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
We just had to be difficult tonight, right?
God, mine. Drive me to drinking. Y'all remember about the hyphen? How you have to define it like this? With the pound sign N, which means numeral, which means the 3, not the THREE, hyphen. So however you do hyphen, I do it hyph.
I just do HF.
HF?
So
Congrats.
I have a question. Sorry.
Imagine that. Take up the rest of the class. What?
So, how do we know when to use hyphen and dash?
What do you mean? Like if he says
Your phone number.
Okay, like a phone number. Okay, we'll use hyphen. Okay.
hyphen, social security number,
And then, so the dash is the only we use in word text, and the hyphens will be used in number text. That's what I'm asking. 'Cause we have a stroke for both, you know, the hyphen and the dash.
yeah.
So I just don't want to use the wrong stroke, because the dash gives
Well,
us
if you
dash.
write out your numbers, all of your numbers, and you don't use the number bar, you're gonna have to remember this, because it's gonna change your numbers from 1-5 to now numeral 1, numeral 5, and that's what tells it to change it to numbers. Got it, Michelle?
Yes.
What did I say?
That you have to remember to change it to numbers. It's because I
When?
lost my.
When what?
When at entry, like if you write it out.
Yes. So yeah. Lucky guess. That was a great guess.
So
Yeah.
you just do that, why you just go all that exact thing.
All you have to do is this right here, and it doesn't matter how many numbers you have. 86753-9. Doesn't matter. And you can do 8, 7, SEVEN, 76530-9, and it's going to change all of those to numerals because you asked it to. So bracket, pound sign, capital N, close bracket, bracket, hyphen, bracket, bracket, pound sign, capital N, bracket. That's all you have to do is define it one time. So regardless of whether there's not any numbers before it, and it says, well, how much was it? It was -8. I don't know if that's ever going to come up, but it's going to do -8. It should do -8, even though you put this in as your global in your dictionary. Usually when there's a hyphen, there's usually a number before and after. But I'm just trying to give you an example.
So if we're writing a phone number, 210, and then we put HF, and then the rest of the number, and then HF, and then whatever.
If you have time. If you have time. You remember the number conversion?
Shift.
Control shift three.
Don't call me, don't call, I see you. I see.
Because I have my notes.
What is it?
Shift three.
Control Shift 3. Hit it right now. Control Shift 3 brings that up right there. So let's just say you did, well, what's your number, sir? It's 210 843 7609. And you know what? He's going so fast, you don't have time to put the hyphens. You know what? Don't freak out. All you have to do is come in here, click that little box right there. Okay, boom, does it. Let me give you another little example where you wouldn't even have to do that.
Your number bar, your
Automatic.
Auto Magic. If it has the correct amount of numbers, it's gonna know. Did you mean to leave it like that? Did you mean to put it in? It's 10. You know, and it may give you an option of, well, did you mean to drop one number off and it was a social security number? It may give you that option too, I don't know. But if you have the correct amount of numbers, it should give you that option of, did you mean to put it in a phone number? Or was this just a number that needs to stay together? Got it? So, if it doesn't give you that option, then it's what? What's the command?
Control shift three.
Control Shift 3. Very good. Which changes it to quantity, money.
Will the money include the dollar sign?
Yeah. How else would you do it?
I mean with the number, whatever it is in D. Right?
No, how else could you change it into money without doing that in hyperkeys?
Well, I don't know, I missed that part.
Were you absent that day?
I was.
Didn't watch that video?
Control pound key? No, that's what I have.
Control pound key? For money conversion?
That's what I have that underneath Control Shift 3.
Look on your little cheat sheet. How about that? I'll even give you a chance to get that out. Let me give you a hint. It has to do with money.
And
What is it? Shift M. Capital M.
Oh, yeah.
We'll change it to money. But whenever you're on a number, remember I told you over here? What's this called? Auto Magic. Auto Magic's gonna give you the number, time, money, ordinals, maybe Roman numeral. When it lands on that number, it goes into a different effect and it gives you all kinds of stuff. Okay? So there's so many different ways of doing this. Find the easiest way to do it, which is gonna be, Josh, Auto Magic. Yeah, we'll wait for you. That ain't happening. But you can change it to generic, Roman, ordinal, money, date, time, zip code, social security, phone, any of that stuff. Got it?
Got it.
All right. Now they're going to talk about different strokes. Here are number strokes defined as dictionary entries that force specific number conversions. Such strokes can be written immediately before the number, in the middle of the number, or immediately after the number to change it. Okay? So say they say, what time did you go to the store? And you say 5. And you know that it's time, all you have to do is this. Time with an asterisk, and define it as this. Bracket, pound sign, T for time, capital T, capital T, capital T, close bracket. And then that's going to tell it the number that is before, the number that's after is going to be changed to time. Got it? That's all you have to do. Okay, so if you want to change it to time, that's all you have to do in your writing is put the time with the asterisk. And it comes up as 5:00.
So you're gonna put 5 and the time like
Yeah.
that? Okay, got it.
So you can put it before, like if you're behind and they say, well, what time did you go to the store? And you're, what time is the store? And they said 5. You can do time 5. You can do it before the number, the middle of the number, or after the number. And it's gonna know to change it to time if you define it correct. Which is capital what?
T.
Thank you. Capital, capital. Okay, don't put small t, 'cause I don't know what you did then. I have no idea what's gonna come up with small t. There's no telling. So you have to do these things correct, okay, in order for it to work correct. Same thing with numbers, okay? And let's just say you use the number bar and you just don't have time, and they said, well, what was it? It was 8743, 8743, and you wrote 8743. But it needs to be words. All you have to do is that. Word with an asterisk. Define it as bracket, number sign,
Capital W.
capital W, thank you, bracket, and it'll put it in words. Got it? Same thing with generic digits. Ordinal endings, like I told you, I do it with the E, okay? For ordinals. Did you say you did it too? Okay. I don't know how y'all do it. Maybe you write it out first, second, third, fourth. You know, and that's okay. If you say, well, what place did he come in? Oh, he came in 4th. Excellent. You did it correct. Well, what's your birthday? May 4th. F-O-U-R-T-H. Is that right? No. But somebody did it in something different. And I'm not making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. But in her thing. In the body of her text. She did THIRD,
Oh, yeah.
and she wanted to change it to 3RD. Well, guess what? Josh? Auto magic. When you get on that number, regardless of whether it's THIRD, 3RD, 3:00, the number just 3, it doesn't matter. It's going to give you the number, time, money, ordinal, probably Roman numeral. It's always going to give you that option. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Okay? Control Shift 3 number conversion. Where's that? Guys, look right here. Okay? Control Shift 3 is good on some things. You don't need to do it here. Usually it's going to give it to you in the auto magic. Hit the number, let's go. Keep going. Keep going. Okay? Just like the 2012. You didn't even know that it was there. And it was right there. It knew. And she did 2 thou. Did you? Thou 1 2. And it knew. Well, did you want 2-012 to 012? Money sign 2-012. So it gave it money, everything. Okay? So if you want to do Roman numerals, the next time I do it will be the first time I do it on the Roman numerals. But you hear it. What was his name? His name was Abe Gonzalez III. How do you write that?
A Gonzalez and then comma, then the numeral 3.
The numeral 3?
Well, you would write
Just
the
number
Roman
3?
numeral 3, no.
The Roman numeral 3. Correct. Guys, do not write Abe Gonzalez number 3. If I find out, you may get whacked with the stick. I'm not even sure. Don't do that. They say junior, something totally different. It's not 1-1. But if they say Abe Gonzalez the second, and he's the second, still junior, considered junior, but they didn't say junior, they said the second. How would you do it?
You have to write junior.
They said the second.
Oh, the second you have to write the Roman numeral.
Roman numerals, just I. Okay? Write what they say. Okay? So if they say junior, great. If they say Abe Gonzalez III, then it's not 3RD, it's not 3, it's I. Got it? Roman numeral. All right? So if you hear it, you can do it. And that's how they do it. I don't do it. I don't hear it. I usually write THIRD, and then I change it into Josh Auto Magic. All right? So I just put it on the number, change it, whatever. I'm sure there's an easier way. Maybe I should do it an easier way, but it's easy for me just to kind of skip on it, write the Roman numeral, pick the Roman numeral, whatever number it is, and then go. Got it? But if you want to do the Roman numerals, that's how they're telling you to do it. With the R. 1R, 2R, 3R. Guys, pay attention. Michelle?
I'm writing Roman numerals.
Okay. Pay attention just real quick. You have to use the number because you're using it as one stroke. Got it? So now it's not a standalone. It's with another stroke. So you're doing the 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R together. That's how you have to define it. So now you got to go through and do all of them. All of your numbers. Okay? Like that. And just do the number, bracket, pound sign, R, capital, R, bracket. Got it? Okay. Same thing with ordinals. You know, like I said, I use the E. You do whatever you want. If you want to use a G, I'm not sure why they use G. I have no idea. But they use G. I was taught E. 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 5E, whatever. For first, second, third, fourth, and that puts the number with the ST, 1 ST, 2 ND, 3 RD, and all you have to do, or you have to go through and define it. But all you have to do is define it up to 0, from 0 to 9. So even if they said the 309th district, so you can do 309E or E9, and it should put it all together as 309. Does that make sense? As long as the numbers are together, the numbers are probably going to stay together. They're going to keep the numbers together. So unless you put a comma in there, hyphen, whatever, it's going to keep the numbers together. Okay? But you can do 309th in one stroke. Okay? 309E. Got it?
This is just if you use, this is only for the number part, right?
Yeah. So how would you write 309th?
I would do 3 high 9.
3 what?
I would do 3 strokes, 3 high 9.
Number bar 3?
No.
Walk me through it, cuz.
I would type out first stroke 3, THR 1E, next stroke high HUA, next stroke NINTS.
Okay. That's a lot. But that's the way you hear it. That's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. You know? As long as you're able to do it, fantastic. One, don't let anybody tell you you can't get out of school without stroking everything out, because they're, give them my number, tell them to call me. Me and my stick will go talk to them. Guys, stay calm, right? It's when you get freaked out that you end up dropping. It really does. And then you get further behind or whatever. As long as you stay calm and just keep writing, you're gonna be fine. Okay? Ordinals, date conversion, AOE. That's a tough one.
It is, because that's what I use for my asterisks. I mean, not asterisk, I'm sorry, my
Hyphen.
apostrophe. Like apostrophe S, I do AOE S.
Yeah, they're just saying AOE.
I know, but the AOE puts my apostrophe in there. Maybe I have text.
No, because it should be one stroke.
Oh, okay.
AOES is apostrophe S. So it's one stroke. Right here, they're just doing AOE. AOE. You know, whatever. AOE, and you define it as that. Bracket, pound, capital D, bracket, and it'll change it. Okay? So it doesn't matter if they say, well, what year were you born? 95. 95 AOE. It'll change it to that. When were you born? I was born 198. January of 98. 198 AOE. I don't do it.
Did it put that apostrophe in front of the 94? Or in front
That's
of the
what it's saying. That's what it's saying it'll do. I don't use it. I'll be honest with you. I don't. You know, when it comes up like this, well, when were you born? One, I do the comma. 1, 98. And then I just change it with the, probably a little bit longer. I should probably write smarter, not harder. That one's harder. Dumber. But if you just do the AOE, it'll change it. Okay? Any questions about what we've covered so far? No? Okay. Here it's telling you the same thing that I just covered, which is what, Michelle? On the number 3, how do we define it?
Well, you're using the number parts already, it could be 3.
So what do I define it as?
Like an ordinal number? Or, I don't understand what are you trying to define it?
Nothing. Nothing. It stands alone. 3 stands alone. Okay? Any number that you want to stand alone, it does. It already stands alone. You don't have to mess with the number unless you use a command with the number. Okay? All it's doing is just going over stuff right here. So really, this is the your turn. This is the your turn thing. Are y'all right here? Well, it already tells you the answers. So really what you can do is to get in this box. If you're right here, are you right here on here?
Now I am. Okay.
Are you in hyperkeys?
Yes.
Y'all in hyperkeys? How do you get into a field? E. How do you enter a field?
Oh,
E. Press E. Did it go in there? All you have to do is press enter. You don't have to press anything because it's already defined. Or you could put 3, just the number 3, because that's what it's defined as. You don't have to define it as anything. Does it go to the next one after you do that?
Well, since I'm in hyperkeys, press 3, do something else.
I'm sorry?
I said, since I'm in hyperkeys and I pressed 3, it did something else.
No.
Did it open the box? It popped up a box.
So since I was in hyperkeys to get to my little field here,
Get out of hyperkeys.
Get out?
You push 3 and that's what it brought. Get out of there. Press N again. N. Okay. Now backspace and do 3. Back up. See, it's not giving you the global. So I don't know why. Just get back in hyperkeys. Just do E again. Okay. And how would you define? So now we're down here on $100. HUND is $100. So how would you define it? We're right here. E, 3,
Oh, no wonder we
E.
tried.
Huh?
I wasn't putting the 3 inside the fill in the blank. I was putting the 3 in the. Yeah, I tried to do it with the N. It didn't let me do it.
Huh?
When I was talking to Josh.
If you go, I think Control N is the same thing. So if you're in the text and you press, or you can do it in the automatic, or you can
It
press.
should bring this up right here, the fill in the blank.
They
Put
did that.
Put 3, and they didn't put 3?
Well, I don't know what happened to the fill in the blank, but that went away. You were standing right here. It wasn't there.
No, it was already gone. You had already messed with it, and the blue thing was gone.
Right.
I got it. I got it.
See?
Did it bring it?
Well, yeah, it works.
What did it do?
He did, without the fill in the blank box,
Yeah.
he did the control N and then press the number.
Only if you're not.
Without the box though.
Oh,
Yeah.
without the box.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no box here.
But your blue box is there.
Yeah.
My blue box is gone.
Okay, my blue box is gone.
So you
He
get
did
out of
what?
hyperkeys.
Control N, 3.
Yeah.
All right. So if it's not letting you put the number there and it keeps doing something else or bring up a box or whatever, then do the Control N and 3. And Control N, and then it'll bring up the prompt, and then you just press number 3, and it should put it in there. Got it? Okay, here's the other exercise right here. All right? So I'm going to come in here to E. Katie, what do I need to define? The stroke is 50, next stroke $1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000. That's all you have to put right there. You don't mess with anything on. You don't mess with anything on the 50. Got it? What about here?
Miles per hour?
Yeah. That's all you do. Put the miles per hour. What about here? Michelle, what do I define? A 1.5.
The point.
How do I do it?
Global.
Got it. That's what this is.
Okay. Do you have to put the brackets in there?
Bracket.
And then the decimal? Oh, and right number? No?
You put out the word decimal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Oh, in cap.
in caps. Close it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Got it? I don't know why it's not keeping it in.
No, just for the sake of not putting it in there.
That's why you do it. That's how you do it. So whatever. Whatever they want to do. So Josh, how do I define that? $25 million.
You just put $1 million.
$1 million. Very good. Debbie, what do I define here? 103.
100,
100. Very good.
so let me write it all out.
Yeah. What do I put right here?
$1,000.
$1,000. Very good. Y'all got it. Russell, what do I define right here? 50 cents.
The cents?
Just cents. $80.
The 15 cents, 19 cents.
How? You remember?
Is it, do you write?
I think you have to put the bracket. Remember? Let's come up here and check.
I think it's the bracket too.
Hmm?
I think it's the bracket too. But we don't write we put the number, actual number, but not the written number, right?
So see how you have to do the bracket? You see that?
Not my cost.
Do this. It really helps. No, it's the number, open bracket, close bracket, CENTS. So the open bracket, close bracket, that nothing's in there, knows to put it together. Okay? So we're right here. Eddie, how do we do it?
So 15, and then open bracket, close bracket, and then cents. Like write out cents.
That? Very good.
I'm confused, so, like what
It's when you write it together. It's when you write it in one stroke.
but don't you still want the cent symbol?
No.
Instead of the word?
It knows to change it.
Okay.
The bracket, the open bracket, closed bracket knows to change it. That's what tells it to change it.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
If you just write 4 cents, it's gonna write 4 cents. Okay? The open bracket, closed bracket tells it to convert it to the cent sign. Got it? All right. What do we do here? Gosh.
I'm really thinking that is the number 4 and with the dash K. I don't know if we put that hyphen in, well, hyphen, not dash, I'm sorry. If we put that in there.
That's what the stroke is, 4K.
Okay, so it'd be 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. To be is the way I do it. Okay? You don't have to do it that way. You can do it the number 4 if you want. I mean, you know, whoever you go to work for may have learned it different. You know, and they may have learned the 4 o'clock. And some people do it that way. My English teacher would roll over in her grave, I think. Whatever, so. Okay. What do we, Josh?
I'm thinking it's going to P dot N. Okay.
Say it again?
You just put P period M
Period.
period. Okay.
P period, M period. Got it? Have to put that final period. The other ones are. Okay, numbers overview.
With Eclipse, 2 basic steps will give you excellent number translation. Fine-tune your dictionary, and fine-tune your number settings. Pure number bar strokes aren't even necessary in your dictionary. Other numbers building blocks will be defined as words, not digits. 100, 1,000, million describe orders of magnitude. Write the word dollars when you hear it, not before, and it, like other money words, will trigger number conversion with the appropriate currency symbol. If a number doesn't translate right, it's probably because of an old dictionary entry. Remove such entries and your building blocks will work properly. A separate presentation deals with finding and moving entries in and out of your dictionary. Occasionally, you'll want to convert numbers after translation. Mark the number first, then click on the toolbar icon, or use the menu or the speed key, Control and the pound key together. Here you see your number as it starts out, and as it would look depending on which format you choose. However, your numbers settings will control, and so the gear icon takes you quickly to adjust those settings.
You see what it's telling you there? So you can change anything into anything. Money, ordinal, Roman numeral, just by that number conversion, which is Control-Shift-3.
Within these short presentations, it's not possible to show all that Eclipse automatic number conversion can do. So a separate in-depth ePower video tutorial is available on automatic number conversion.
Got it? Any questions? Pretty much what we've been going over. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about in the hyperkeys. Okay? The first letter of each menu of item is a hotkey. Remember our stylistic conflicts numbers. So when you're on a number and you want to change it to a quantity, it's what?
Shift Q.
Shift Q. Okay? Same thing with money, ordinal, Roman numeral. Look there. Okay? I don't know that that's right, because that's a movement. That's up. So I don't know what they're talking about there on the I, because I is up. So I'm not quite sure what they're doing there. I don't know. So, but social security numbers, zip code, time, date, phone, generic, okay? And it's all the shift, okay? Okay, 4 of the most commonly used number conversions have been also available as hyperkeys. And that's what they're talking about. The other ones were hotkeys. These are hyperkeys, okay? And the hyperkeys is money, numerals, time, written out numbers, okay? It's also going to give it to you, Josh, in the auto magic, okay? You should always get these. Always. But if it doesn't, Katie, what is it?
Or Shift
Shift
M. I
M.
thought Shift W was word it
Is what?
was word it
Shift W?
Yeah. Or is it just W?
W. W is word endings. Prefixes, suffixes is W. Shift W is written out words, written out numbers. Okay? So be careful with that. And you guys should have looked at this table 20 times already, going over those commands and messing with it. I know you have, right? Right? It's hypothetical, I already know. You haven't. But guys, I'm telling you, use the table. Use it. I mean, I'm not telling you, I mean, to waste time up here. It's really gonna make your life, it's really gonna change your life. As far as editing, holy cow. The stuff that you can do in those hyperkeys is ridiculous. You can really do so much stuff with those hyperkeys if you just learn to use them and what they do, okay? So you take a day, take an afternoon or whatever and mess with that. When you don't have anything to do on a Sunday afternoon, and for some ungodly reason you're not watching football, then get on your machine, write stuff, and then use these things. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So like hyperkey T, if I were to write 7:30 and then I push, would I have to mark it and then hyperkey T? So instead of writing 7:30 time with an asterisk, I just write 7:30 and then hyperkey T.
So if you don't have time, you know, it's always going to look nicer when you're doing your job in real time. And you have time, and you know what? I'm smoking it today. They can't talk fast enough for me, and I'm on it. I'm on it. You're going to have those days where it's like, and I'm telling you, I mean, this software, if you open up that little box like I told you, it tells you how fast you're going. It'll tell you how fast you're writing. Now, whether it was for a long time, I've hit 300. I really have. Now, it wasn't for an extended, but I was moving and I was smoking it, you know, and I didn't stop them. If you're getting it, you don't need to stop them. It's the days you're not getting it, you know, that you need to stop them. But it's like, and it was good. And if you're on top of it and you have time, write the time with the asterisk and it's going to come up. But if you don't, and all you hear is 7, what time did you go to the movies? And you're right on, I mean, you're just barely hanging on. 7, you just write 7, and you're writing the next question and you're going. Don't freak out. No big deal. Even if you're a working reporter and you're out and you're going to have those days that you're not going to have time to do the time, no big deal. They're going to know. They, you know, the attorneys know. You know, they're not dumb. They're not as dumb as we think they are sometimes or whatever. But they're going to know, you know. What time did you go to the movies? 7. Well, they got that. You know, well, there's a S-E-V-E-N there. Doesn't matter. He knows it's 7, and when you go back and do the transcript, you'll change it. No big deal. But he got the gist of what he needed to know. It was at 7. Okay? So don't freak out. If you have time to write it, write it. If you don't, here's one of the ways to do it. Josh?
Automagic.
Automagic. Okay? And this is what they're going to talk about, what I just talked about.
Let's see some of the choices that Automagic offers relating to numbers. As soon as I place my cursor on 3.
You see what it does? Is it 3, $3, 3 o'clock, Roman numeral 3? Or it's going to say, do you want something different? And you push 5, or the Control-Shift-3, which you should already know. But it already gives you that option to change it. So now all you have to do is press 5. You don't have to do the Control-Shift-3. All you do is 5 and it does the same thing. Or it's telling you a faster way to do it if you want to do it. I don't think it's faster. But Control-Shift-3 if you forget. Okay? But it's always going to give you these. These are always going to be the first ones. Okay?
Automagic offers me several number conversion choices, turning this to a digit, to a money number, to time, to a Roman numeral, and in case these are not enough, choice 5 opens the number conversion dialog, so I have all of my number conversion choices at my fingertips. In this case, no change is necessary. However, when I place my cursor on the word car, the number 1 choice is to turn this into the expression 3 car.
You see what they're doing there? So it's always thinking ahead. You know what? Do you want to leave it as a 3-car garage, or is it a 3-car garage, which needs to be this? Or you do Shift hyphen we'll do the same thing. So it's always going to give you what you can do quicker here, if you think of it. If you already know, you put your cursor right here, do shift, hyphen, and it's going to do it. Or, you know, I don't want to mess with that. I'll just push 1. Push 1. Pow, did it. So it does the same thing. So it's always going to give you options, other options of being able to do the same thing. Okay? Got it?
With a hyphen. In this case, 2:30 really meant time. I can place it.
See what they're doing right there? And look at the way they wrote it. 2:30. Really? Maybe. You know, I mean, and they say, well, when was that? About 2:30. Well, you're not gonna write 2 with all these dashes, 30. No, that's what they meant. I mean, it's just 2:30 yesterday, okay? But all you heard was 2. When was that? 2:30 yesterday. Okay, well you wrote 2 because you heard 2. No big deal. Then it's like 30. I don't want to write out 30 because now I know it's time. It doesn't matter. Josh, Auto Magic is going to fix it for you. It's going to give it to you as an option. Pow. 4. All right?
My cursor either on 2 or 30. Either way, AutoMagic will detect the full number and give me the appropriate number conversion choices. In this example, pressing 4 would turn this to a time number, and there was no need to mark the full extent of the number before AutoMagic offered its choices. In this next example, third refers to a date, and so the number 1 choice is to convert this to a digit with the ordinal suffix.
You see what it's doing? So don't get so caught up in, oh man, I mean, I knew how to do that. It was 3E, but I heard third and I wrote third and not 3RD and blah, blah, blah. Really? Guys, it's all about just getting out of school, okay? 1. So it's doing it quicker. So just write what you hear. If you hear it as the 3rd, well, what day was it on? It was on the 3rd. 3rd of what? 3rd of May. Well, all you heard was it was on the 3rd. So you wrote THIRD. Don't freak out. Even if you're doing real time and you wrote THIRD, the attorney's going to be able to decipher it, okay? You got the gist of it there. Is it correct? That was a question. Is it correct?
No.
No, it's not, okay? But you can change it later, no big deal. They got the gist of it, you got the gist of it, so even if you're taking a test now, no big deal. You know to change it to a date, or an ordinal, or whatever, or money. You already know, okay? So don't freak out that, you know, well, how many dollars was it? It was $3, and you forgot to write the D on the 3. You know that they said money. I know that he said it. I heard it and I remember that. I know I didn't write it, but I remember that. Whatever. No big deal. It's going to give you that option. Okay?
And this yes that follows is the start of a paragraph. If I press 3, that will now make it easy for me to say, this is an answer. Most of the time, Eclipse Automatic Number Conversion.
See what it did there? How do you change it to an answer? Katie? You were going to be right there and you just want to change it into a quick answer. No.
An A, right? Did you say an
Hmm?
A? A, so it can become the answer?
No.
Or no, that was a question.
What does A do?
That's the tabs.
F4.
F4. Thank you very much. What's F3?
Question.
Question. Yeah, Q is a question mark. Q is question mark. Okay? A toggles caps. Okay? So you wanted to change it to an answer, F4. Guys, between, whoops, question answer, real easy. Those should be on 2-3 separate pages. Real big. Answer, standalone answer, in the middle of a paragraph that you forgot is what? F4. Question? F3. Toggle caps? Very good.
Formats numbers properly as you write, but sometimes context may be unclear. For those times where you need to change the format of a number, AutoMagic makes it possible to do so with a very minimum of steps.
Got it? Got it? That was a question.
Yes.
Got it?
Hotkeys, pop-ups, and fonts are a few AutoMagic display options that are found in the View Toggles dialog. Let's see. At the right edge of the info bar, AutoMagic can show the speed keys or hyperkeys that are available as keyboard shortcuts. This can help new users to learn the keyboard shortcuts for editing efficiency, but more experienced users may want to hide them. This can be done.
Guys, don't get mistaken here too much either, okay? Like you see that? It's not capital G, it's just G. When they want you to do a capital, they're gonna tell you, okay? Got it? So these are just the regular letters, okay?
By going to the View Toggles dialog and unchecking the box that appears next to hotkeys, your AutoMagic choices can also be displayed in a...
I wouldn't do that if I were you. I know what they are and I still don't do it. So you should have your hotkeys checked. Got it? So go into your View Toggles. You know how to do that? What is it? I'll save you some time. It's Windows. Jesus.
Shift Alt E.
Huh?
Shift Alt E.
Shift Alt E. Or just go up to Windows, pull down the bar, and View Toggles. Should have you here. Is everybody here?
It's gonna be under Tools.
Was it Tools? Okay, sorry. Tools. That's what I said. So I was checking y'all to see if y'all were listening. One person was listening.
No, but I come up under Tools.
Huh?
Really? I got it under Windows.
You got it under Windows too?
I think it is.
And it
under
even tells
Windows.
you to Control Shift
Different
F3.
customers.
Well, the other one is edit.
Is what?
Like the Shift Alt E, I think that was like an edit toggle or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, this one.
Okay, go into Windows. Yeah,
Push Control Shift F3.
Control Shift F3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, F3. F3. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you should have this checked. Hotkeys. You should have AutoMagic too. Do y'all? Everybody have it? And you may need to get out of this lesson and get into the gray box where it says Eclipse and make sure that it says that on your thing, because this is the lesson. So it may say it on the lesson and it may not be in your, yeah. Okay? Got it?
Small pop-up window that can appear after a short delay. The delay is expressed in milliseconds, and the default setting is half a second. So as I move my cursor, the choices offered by AutoMagic are brought closer to where I'm looking.
Be careful with that. Okay? Be careful with,
Pop-ups.
yeah, pop-up. You shouldn't have that marked. Okay? It's, guys, I like it, but I do a lot of editing, okay? A lot. So I like it right there where it's giving me the choices right there, but it can get confusing when you're moving around. It's a little weird, okay? And it takes a little getting used to. Mess around with it. If you like it, keep it on. It's pop-up. And this is what it does. I'm going to rewind it just a bit.
Move my cursor. The choices offered by Automagic are brought closer to where I'm looking.
See what it's doing?
You can hide the info.
See what it's doing with that little pop-up? Boom, boom, boom.
Do you find that to be easier?
I like it.
As I move my cursor.
I like it. And see, and tell me, so it doesn't really have it over here. On mine it does. It has it here and it has it here. But it's easier for me to be going along right here and then I just look up, pick the one. Pick the one. But, you know, if you're trying to look up here, well, what was he talking about? You're trying to look up here. Now this box is here. It gets confusing and it can be a little distracting. So mess with it. If you like it, pop-ups. If you don't, keep pop-ups unchecked. Okay?
The choices offered by Automagic are brought closer to where I'm looking. In fact, you can hide the info bar entirely and still see your Automagic choices only in a pop-up.
See what they're telling you there? So you can turn this off. You can turn this completely off. The info bar, which is over here, and just have the pop-ups where it gives you more room. So now you have a little bit more screen. You can see a little bit better. And I don't think it works for me always. And it doesn't always give you all the choices either as it does in the Automagic. Okay?
To do this, go to the View Toggles dialog and uncheck the box next to Info Bar, but leave the choices next to Automagic and Pop-Up checked. That frees up some space on the screen.
Bless you. You see what it does? So it frees up, bless you. So it frees up some space, but it's really not that much. Okay? If you like it, you can mess with it, whatever.
Depriving you of your Automagic choices. Don't forget that you can adjust the font that's used to display your Automagic choices. For instance, you could use a smaller font that's narrow and bold.
Much like those user settings, you can change this stuff. You can make it bigger. So if you don't have your glasses that day, you can make it, you know, ridiculous or whatever. No, I mean, you go in there and make it whatever you want. If the regular font doesn't fit you and you want it different, you can change it. Be careful with messing around with that too much. All right?
The Automagic choices would still be very readable, but now the info bar would not need to be as wide. So you could use the mouse to hover over the right edge of the info bar, then hold down the left mouse button while you drag to the left. That could free up some display space for other elements on your screen.
You see what they're doing there? So they're closing up this space right here by moving this over. So you get here where it has like the two arrows with the bar in the middle. That tells you that you're in the middle. Put the arrow there, left click, drag it as you're left clicking it at the same time, and it closes up this space right here. So if you don't feel like you have enough space right here, I think you can even close this one up a little bit too. I've never really messed with it because it always gives me enough space or room. But if you don't, and this thing is like super huge, you know, it's this big, and your edit is this big, and then your notes is like this, it shouldn't be like that. So if you don't feel comfortable messing with it, bring your computer in and I'll do it for you. And we'll mess with it to where we get it right. But if not, then mess with it and get it to where you want it. If you mess with it and it seems like it messed it up, then bring it in and I'll look at it or whatever, or call support. Okay? Got it? Okay, so here's the little your turn thing or whatever, and you can mess with it. Are y'all all in there? what would we, use right here? What would we do right here?
S.
S. See what S does? Shave. S shaves. So it's going to shave the last letter or whatever. Got it? Katie?
Yeah.
Got it? S shaves. Capital S does what? Huh?
No.
Shaves the word. Shaves the whole previous word.
Capital S shaves the current word.
Shaves the current word from the end back. So see what it did right there? See what it did? I'm right here on time. Shift S does the E. Wow. I don't know why it did it. Front to back. Let's see. Yeah, it'll start. I don't. Yeah, that's a little crazy.
I'd rather just use it to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that. You know, maybe it says times. What times? What are they? What times? It's not times, okay? So maybe that's where you need the shift S, and it's going to shave it, that word from the end forward. After it, what it does after that, I don't know. I mean, because now it's doing some crazy stuff. Whether it does that in the actual text, I don't know. But what do we need to do right here? Okay.
That's the clock.
How do we change it to time?
Shift 3. Shift 3 and then.
Huh?
I don't know.
How do you change it to time?
Shift 3? Shift
Just time. Just time.
T.
Shift T.
Oh, shift T.
Shift T. That's it.
Okay. Capital T.
How do we change this to money? Shift M. That's not what it's supposed to be, but I'm just showing you different things. Look what it did. See? And it puts it in the right context. It puts the comma in the right place, everything. Say we didn't want that. How do we fix it?
Z.
Z. A couple of times. We'll put it back.
I like that little pop-up box.
What's that?
The little pop-up box.
Right?
You like it?
How did you get it?
I put it on in my toggle.
If you like it, great. If you don't, it gets a little confusing in the beginning.
And you only last there, like it says, for a few seconds, so you have to be ready to use it when it comes up.
Okay, so now they're saying it's 4043 Green Park.
504.
Did it? Oh, that's what I said. So I'm trying to see if y'all are paying attention. Very good. How do we change that?
That one is T.
Hmm?
T.
That's
For the
time?
W.
Yeah, he said 504.
504.
No, but it's in a direct.
5043
Oh,
Green
I didn't
Park.
see that.
Okay, I didn't see the red. Sorry.
I didn't see that.
Ooh, ah.
That's funny.
How do we do that?
3.
Shift in.
Hmm?
Shift in.
Shift in?
Shift 3.
For numerals.
Shift 3?
I have shift 3 for numbers.
Huh?
I have shift 3 for numbers. Number conversion.
Control shift.
Shift 3 doesn't. Shift 3 puts a.
Really? Then I did it wrong.
And the numeral conversion.
Oh,
is
the numeral
Control shift
conversion. Yeah.
Huh?
Control shift 3.
Wouldn't it just be N?
Control shift 3.
N? N takes me out of hyperkeys.
three. There's shift and.
It's
Hmm? And put it into what?
Ordinal?
Hmm?
no, it would be ordinal. It would be.
It's 504 third?
5043.
Third?
Oh, you don't have address up there?
Yeah, so I was looking for an address.
Is there?
No.
Is there?
No,
No.
didn't see one.
I control shift 3.
Control shift 3 brings up the.
That box
the-
right
okay.
there.
Yeah.
And then you can just put since close, no.
Yeah.
That doesn't even work.
I don't know.
I'll just do N and just fix the word. Ready?
Hmm. Well, we don't want that comma in there. So it's generic. So it'd
Generic.
be, so would it be just G? No, because G would put us in global.
You did it.
How?
Oh, you go.
In
Had a girl,
hyperkeys-
Katie. Always punt.
In hyperkeys, you can press shift N. Oh, no, sorry. You have to hit market, you have to highlight the whole number, so 50, whatever. And then you hit shift N and then hit generic, because it's just a regular number.
Yeah, it's small again.
You said what?
Okay,
What?
walk me
So
through it.
highlight the whole, all four
So how do you mark it?
You just press M,
M,
and then
M,
scroll over.
M. All right. And then what?
Shift N,
Shift N.
and then G, for generic.
G?
Very good.
Look at that.
Wait a minute.
Excellent punt there, Katie. I like it.
Okay, wait, mine.
So, here's another
You
question.
mark the whole number.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, then you do shift N. And then G.
Mine didn't work.
What's
Yeah,
that?
hyperkeys.
Yeah,
What's that? Yours didn't work?
and then mine didn't work.
No.
And I'm breaking my sleep.
Going over there.
Yeah. We're on 5. Mark it. Mark it. Do shift in. G. You're already on.
You see, earlier it wasn't doing that, it was just, it would keep 5,
Did it?
and then O, it would keep
Man,
O.
when I walk over, it's like magic.
Was that going to take your car to the
I
mechanic,
did, I
right?
went back, so I gotta mark it, right?
What's
So
that?
it's not
When
gonna
you take
be.
your car to the mechanic, it's making a noise, and then you take it, it doesn't make the noise after any point.
It's quick. What'd you do?
Okay, so you gotta mark it, right?
Hold on.
Right there, on the 504 thing. Okay, so
All right, so
I
get on
gotta-
what?
I gotta go there, and then I gotta mark
No.
it, right? No?
You want at? That's
Oh,
not
no,
part of the
no,
address.
right there.
Right there.
Okay, so now I gotta mark it, right?
Mhm.
So it's a shift down.
Which is what? No.
Control.
No.
Oh, control.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Just down.
Just down? Okay, to mark it, okay, then you
Down,
gotta scroll over it,
down.
right?
No, just keep pushing in. Or that.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, that's
And
the
then
mark.
shift in.
Shift in,
The mark.
and then I'm gonna pick the generic
Just,
stuff.
just push G.
See, I was wondering earlier what the generic choice was, I think. Okay.
Got it? All right, say we're right here. These need to be together. How do we do that?
Where we at?
It's not 5043 Green Park.
So you'll mark the G. So you go to the G.
Mark the G,
You know, green part. Highlight it.
highlight it.
Mm-hmm.
So mark it.
And
Mark
then
it.
also P. I mean park.
All
And
right.
then you global it. Control G or G. And then we'll do lock.
Did you lock?
And then okay. Put it together. Right? Oh, will you put the 50, you put the 5043 on there too?
It's the address.
Oh, well, go back and do it again.
Or,
Or, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what I was
Shift.
thinking.
tilde.
Oh, shift tilde. I forgot about
Remember?
tilde.
That
Yeah.
little, Do the shift tilde, puts it together. Do it.
So is that on the green? Do you put it on the green or you put it on the number 5 first?
Well, you need to do it on the G. We'll bring it with the number, and put it on the P. We'll bring it with green.
So tilde.
So tilde. We'll put it together.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
Or
global it. Mark it all and global it.
mark it